to the chase. My name is Lolita and I'm your host. This segment on Cut to the Chase is a little different today. I usually have guests on talking about politics. But today I am really excited. I have someone who is related to me. They happen to be my cousin. And it's good to have smart people in your family. And so this is one of the smart people in my family. I'd like to introduce to you my cousin Aleta Eubanks.
Yes.
Hi, Aleta.
Hi, good to see you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your immediate family.
I was born actually right across the street. It was Mount Sinai West now. My mom, Linda Gunn Nixon, and you are first cousins.
Right, absolutely.
Because my mom's dad and your mom, brother and sister.
Right.
So, growing up, the Gunn family was always a mystery. And I asked my mother a lot of questions about the Gunn family, and she told me what she knew, but as I got older, especially into adulthood, I started, doing a little more research and digging in. And it was difficult because I didn't know much, but what changed the whole thing around for me was Ancestry DNA.
And that's interesting because I think I quickly told you that maybe 10 years ago, when I guess it was introduced, as far as I was concerned, I had a good friend of mine, and she was telling me that she had participated in that research, and she found out she had a half brother, and I looked at her like she was crazy, and I thought it was a scam. And we sort of fell out because of that. And so if she's watching the show, I'm really sorry, and I apologize. However, so do tell us about this Ancestry.com.
So I took the test in February 2018, and by the way, to your cousin's point, I did pick up 2 half siblings.
Whose side?
My dad's side.
On my side.
My father's side.
Oh, your father's side. Okay.
So when I got my results, besides the siblings, my mother's sisters, your cousins,
Yes.
Donna and Velma, I matched up with them, and Averell Elliott. So I was like, okay, who's Averell? Turns out Averell is my grandfather's, your mom's first cousin.
Right.
Like on the Gunn side.
Right.
Last link. There's no other relatives. So
In that age group.
In that age group. Yeah. So that was heavy for me. I did read. It took him some time for him to get back to me, but that triggered me going to delve in deep, because when he finally got back to me, he sent me all these pictures and shared some history, and then that's when my feet got wet on the Gunn side doing research, and I was able to really go in because he gave me a lot of information to run with.
What did you find?
My great-grandfather, your grandfather, was born in Roehampton, which is St. James Parish,
right.
in 1898.
Okay.
And his parents were John and Catherine Gunn. He met my great-grandmother, your grandmother, in Havana.
Your great-grandparents and my grandparents, William and Agatha.
Yeah.
I know Agatha in particular had a heavy accent, because I know when my friends would come around, they would say, "What did she say?" So they were very, very much into their Jamaican culture. And I remember their friends would come over, and they too were Jamaican. A lot of, Jamaicans at that time would they stick together a lot.
Yeah, my mom told me about the accent.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's like it was very thick accent.
Yeah, very. Tell us what you found out about William.
Not much. That, he did go from Jamaica to Havana, and then he went to New York, and he came back. So he was back and forth between Jamaica, Havana, and New York. Yeah, until finally he came through. And I guess at the time, there was one point he was just friends with Agatha, because because on the ship records, it has her address. Yeah. So the address, and she was listed as a friend. So they was friends at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then eventually, so not much. My focus didn't shifted to Agatha because, at least I found a birth certificate on William.
Right.
I knew his side, a little bit of, about his siblings and things like that. But Agatha, she's a mystery.
Yeah.
No birth certificate was found. There's an indication of there is a birth certificate with an indication that that could be her, but it's a different name because her mother, Marianne Pickersgill, is on the birth certificate. So it's a really murky past, so to speak. So I'm still digging, and then we connected, you and I, through DNA with a cousin in Portland, Carol Jackson.
Right.
So she's helping to help figure out, okay, what's the link? Who's the common ancestor in that, part with Agatha? But she's a mystery woman.
Right.
She did have a child, Danville.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I heard about him.
Yes.
My mother would talk about
Danville.
him.
Yeah, or Dan, they called him.
Dan.
Yeah.
Right.
So she did have a child. I think she was like 19 before she met William.
But do you know anything about Dan's father?
No.
I'm just wondering because I never, growing up as kids, I don't know, I guess maybe you too, but I was raised not to ask a lot of questions.
Right.
So I knew not to ask, but I mean, I would like to know his family,
Right. I only found a birth certificate on Danville and nothing else. He's a mystery guy.
I know when your great-grandmother, my grandmother passed, my mother, I know she wrote him a letter letting him know that she had passed. Can you describe William?
William, I mean, from what I was told, this is what I was, you tell me, but I was told he was pretty quiet and he kind of went along. He was the yes dear man. Like he went along, Agatha was the straight shooter, was the one that was in control, so to speak. And he just went along with things and yes dear.
From appearances, because I remember my grandfather, I thought he was white.
Yes. Yes.
In Jamaica, there's a lot of mixing and, from whatever, but I do know too that his family was from Scotland.
Scotland. Yes.
And then
Gunn
for him,
is a Scottish surname.
And then I saw something that one of his sisters had written to him saying, our family, comes from Scotland. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, my grandmother, your great-grandmother, my grandmother was brown. I'm wondering back then how that played out with the families.
Right.
Dissension in families. But I know that they were married until, Agatha passed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So that was love.
And they had 2 children.
Two children.
They had 2 children.
They had 2 children.
Right.
Together.
Right.
Your mother.
Right. And your grandfather. Right. Who I remember vividly. What a wonderful man, Roy.
Yeah.
Yeah, really fond memories of him. Really, when you think of an uncle, he definitely was a great uncle to me. I have great memories,
I know, I heard nothing but great things about him.
Yeah, good guy. He was in the military?
Yes, Army. So he was in some kind of military, I don't know, remember the name of it was, but my aunt, Donna, his oldest daughter, said he had gotten into a fight. And so, the head officer, I guess if that's what you call him, was like, well, you want to go fight, go join the Army and go. So he joined the Army. That's how he ended up joining the Army.
Well, I remember Roy as being very proud. So I really don't know if he ever got into any arguments or anything, but I know he was stern, like, I'm a very proud man, so don't mess with me.
Don't try it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom was same way.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, about the research, what did you find that was most challenging to you?
Most challenging? Actually, once I connected with Averell, and he gave me something to go with, the information started flowing on the Gunn side. The Jackson side, Agatha side, a lot of brick walls, a lot. So
he's related to whom? To which side?
Averell?
Yeah.
Gun side.
Okay.
So he's William's youngest sister Gertrude's.
Gertie, right.
Yeah, Gertie.
My mom talked fondly
So Gertie
of
was the baby of the Gunn siblings. So Averell, that's Gertie's son.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Averell is huge because again, he's the last That's it.
Yeah.
He's the only gun relative in Jamaica right now.
What was the most fascinating thing that you found?
Fascinating thing I found, birth certificates, especially on, William. All of the siblings, I found birth certificates. Oh, the one thing I did that was fascinating, there was another sibling, Clifford. He passed away as an infant.
Oh.
Yeah, so William wasn't the only boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they had a son named Clifford, and he passed away as an infant. So I have his birth certificate.
Okay.
That was fascinating.
I know that one of William's sisters lived in New York. I remember her.
Ida?
Ida. Yeah, she was married, and I think her husband passed away, but I know she lived in the Bronx. Yeah, Ida.
I believe Ida's husband, I'm stuck on his name, he was from North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
So I have, if I remember right, I do have their marriage certificate. I have that information on him.
So you mentioned Carol. Carol is our distant
cousin on the Jackson side through Agatha. So she's trying to help figure out this mystery.
Right.
Agatha's a mystery woman.
But she definitely connected through DNA, so there is a definite connection there.
Definite.
Okay. Yeah, because the only thing I know about Agatha is her maiden name was Jackson. So.
And that's it, really.
Yeah.
No, I think Carol is the important piece to try to figure out who Agatha's father was, because she's a Jackson. So I got to check in with her, see where are we at on this.
Right, because I know Agatha had a nephew, Lester, who was my mother's cousin, and I remember Lester.
Yeah.
But I think he passed away recently.
Lester passed away. Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if because I know he had a lot of children.
He had a lot of children.
Have you do you know anything? No. Okay. So
I'm still working on that. That's still in my notes to try to figure out and sift through, because Lester, you said his last name was Francis?
Francis, yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't run into anything, but I'm gonna keep researching.
Digging, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you got to pull back and take a breather, and then, go back in with a new, fresh pair of eyes, and then that's when you find something.
Exactly. What else about our ancestors do you know?
Not much.
Okay. Just Jamaica.
Yeah, Jamaica, Cuba.
Roehampton, Cuba.
Yep.
But they only went to Cuba to work, correct? But
They
we do
live
have
there.
relatives there now, right?
Yeah, there's a cousin, Alex. So we're trying to figure that piece out. He has to do the DNA, but yeah, there's a cousin in Jamaica.
But who is he related to?
That's what we have to figure out.
Gotcha.
We still in
Gotcha.
work in progress on this one, on trying to connect the dots on that.
Okay, because it would appear that either William's brothers or sisters or whatever, or Agatha's brother or sister had children
Right.
in Cuba. Okay.
Right.
All right.
And his name is Gunn, so it would be a gun. Yeah,
gotcha.
Gun side. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So we have to go to Cuba.
We have to go to Cuba.
Okay.
And he's waiting for us to come.
Okay. So let me ask you this: if you could, which ancestors, if you could have a conversation with them, who would you?
Agatha.
Agatha. Oh my gosh.
Agatha.
Yeah. And I do know a lot of stories about Agatha.
Yeah.
She was like, I think if she was 5 feet, but what a woman.
She was a force. I'm feeling
Really?
like her energy is like she was a force.
Yeah, definitely.
Really.
And she was always dressed to a T. Dressed.
Avril told me
Dressed.
that. Yeah.
And
she
high
loved to bet on
heels.
horses.
Well, I was going to say,
She
the
liked
only
to
time I
gamble.
ever played hooky, I went with her to the racetrack.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. And she always wore these high heels and was always shopping and always with the lipstick and the hair, and very, very glamorous.
Oh, she's a girly girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But with a mouth, if she had
Yeah,
to use
I heard.
it. Oh yeah. You heard? Okay.
Yes, she was a force. But yeah, definitely Agatha. I would love to just sit down and just talk and learn and just listen.
I would like to learn how to cook.
Right, yeah, some cooking lessons. She had it all.
Yeah, she did.
She was worldly.
Yeah.
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 Could
She had a
cook.
past.
She had a past. But that's the thing, when you're doing this kind of research on your family, you have to have an open mind and an open heart,
Yeah.
because you may find, like I had a friend, She discovered that her great-great-grandmother ran a brothel.
Oh, nice. She was a businesswoman.
Exactly. And she said, well, that's where I got my entrepreneurial spirit from.
Okay.
So, hey, some people might have been like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, but
been
you
offended,
have to be
been embarrassed. No.
Yeah,
but-
you have to have an open mind and an
Right.
open heart going in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm open to hear anything about our ancestors because they
Yeah.
made us what we are today.
Yeah, we
know,
would not
and-
be here without them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep on researching, and you know, every time I hit like this breakthrough, I'll text you. I'm like, guess what I found out?
Yes. Yes. And you have done a lot of research.
A lot, and even Averil's surprised. He's like, what? You found that out? I'm like, yeah.
Have you been to Jamaica?
Not yet. So it's on my bucket list. I gotta go.
Now, my mom, she would always talk about where they lived and how huge the place was. And you know, like, you know, you hear these stories, you know, how this gets to be this huge after you keep telling the story. But we actually went there, and let me tell you, it's huge. The property is huge. There are animals there. All this vegetation on it is huge.
Wow.
And there was a woman that was there. We just, you know.
Sybil.
What's Sybil?
Sybil.
Yep. We went to the property unannounced, and we're walking around, and my mom was saying, yeah, that's so-and-so, and this is this, and this woman walks up, and she looks at my mom. Now, mind you, my mother had not gone back to Jamaica since they left as kids. And the woman looks at my mom in her face and says, Sissy, that's what they called her, Sissy, is that you? And I'm like, wow. Now, Sybil was the nanny
Right.
of your grandfather and my mother, as far as I knew.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But Sybil, I have to remember the connection. Sybil actually was married, I'm trying to remember. It was,
To one of the brothers.
Yeah, not one of, was it one of the brothers? I'm drawing a blank, but she actually married into the family. So she was married into the family.
And that information was never divulged to me by my mother. My mother just said she was the nanny.
yeah.
So that's an interesting little
Yeah,
piece.
and from what Averell shared, remember his mom left the land
Okay.
to Sybil.
Right.
To Sybil. Yeah.
Because I remember there was some kind of back and forth, and my grandfather wrote a letter. This I remember, saying that Sybil can stay on that property. You know, he was paying the taxes, and she could stay on that property.
Right. And then William passed, and then Gertie took over.
That's right.
And then
Right.
Gertie passed the land to her and her children. So.
Yeah. Wow. So, what advice would you give someone that's trying to research their ancestry?
Well, DNA. A lot of people don't want to do it for whatever reasons, and I get it. But if you really want to break through and push through on roadblocks, DNA helps so much because it's not just ancestry. You can always take your raw ancestry DNA results and then upload them to GEDmatch. And then GEDmatch will match
is
you.
GEDmatch?
So GEDmatch is another like genealogy site. So you can take your raw DNA results and then you upload it to GEDmatch, and then you can match up with other people that took like 23andMe,
Okay.
MyHeritage,
Oh,
all
okay.
the other DNA tests. So you can find, you know, DNA matches through GEDmatch as
Okay.
well. But if you're going to, or hire a genealogist, which if you got the money, but if you want to really do your own research,
Yeah.
I'd say do the DNA test.
Okay.
And then start who's close, closely related, and then work backwards.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Averell was a huge key. He really broke a lot of roadblocks for me. He gave me a lot of information to run on.
And Averell he's married. He has children.
He's married to his wife Dawn, and he has 2 children, Ian and Jillian. Jillian lives in Rhode Island, and Ian is in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and Averell is in Jamaica? Mm-hmm. Oh, terrific.
Yeah.
Is he in Roehampton or another part of
No,
Jamaica?
he's in Ocho Rios.
Nice.
Yeah, and he goes back. He had a house in Florida.
Okay.
He sold it. So, but he's looking for like a condo. But
Oh,
he's-
nice.
Yeah, but he lived in Florida, so he goes back and forth.
Great, great.
But right now, through the pandemic, he's been in Jamaica.
Okay. Okay. So it looks like we have to go out there and,
Jamaica.
yeah.
Gotta go. He wants to, he's like, I'm all here by myself. You gotta come. I'm like, okay.
That's nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about you. What do you do? Aside
What do
from this big research.
Research, I sell real estate.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
residential. I cover Rockland, Westchester, the Bronx. So I do that, but also I'm in artist management. So
Oh,
my husband's
nice.
a jazz musician,
Tell us
trumpet.
about that.
Trumpet, Dwayne Eubanks.
Oh, nice.
Yep, trumpet. And so I manage his career, and then I picked up a pianist from Chicago, Anthony Wanzi, so I'm managing his career as well. So I'm juggling a lot.
Wow, that's tremendous.
Yeah, I'm juggling a lot.
Wow. Okay.
And I got, 3 kids.
Tell us about them.
Leanna, she's the oldest. She just turned 25, July 14th.
Okay.
Yep, and Caitlin was the youngest daughter. She passed when she was 5 in 2004. And then Preston's the youngest. He's 15, will be
Wow,
16 on Christmas Day. Yeah.
Wow. Great. Are they excited about your research?
They're just like, oh, it's nice, they're
Exactly.
just like nice.
Yeah.
But I want to create a book for them. With the family photos, the ancestors, the history, so they know where they come from, and then it's something to pass on
Right.
to the
Absolutely.
to the future generations.
Yeah.
So that's important, and they're just like, oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
can we go to Jamaica? They just want to go on a trip to
Sure,
Jamaica.
sure. But it is also good so that, when it hits them one of these days when they get older,
It will,
and they'll say, wow, I really wish, I had known, they'll know.
They'll know.
And they have
They'll
been there. Because it's interesting with this ancestry research. I know many, many years ago, it was very difficult. It was easier maybe from somebody that had family in the South to look back and try to research. But for people in the Caribbean, it was a bit more difficult. So now, like, the doors are opening up and we're finding all this great information.
Yeah. And again, it goes back to the DNA.
Right.
Because if we didn't take DNA tests, we would have never connected with Avril
Right.
or Carol. Just wouldn't
Right.
have
That's
happened.
very true. Right.
And it would have been, I wouldn't have known any, records or anything like, it would have been very difficult.
Yeah. So for those of you that think it's a scam, like I did like over 10 years ago, it is not a scam. This is
not a
real,
scam.
So
Nope, not
yeah.
a scam.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
a
that's
scam. But some people they're like, I don't want to give my DNA, and the government, they get into
Exactly.
like those little, I don't know, conspiracy
Exactly.
theories or whatever. But I'm like, when you go to the doctor, you're still
yeah,
giving up your
exactly.
DNA.
It's very true. So that's a good point.
You're still
Now,
giving up.
You and I have been talking a lot, and I'm so appreciative because you are my family. You're my cousin. I'm so
Yeah.
happy. And you mentioned that somebody said to you that, wow, you have a very colorful family.
Yes.
And then I said we should write a book and call it The Colorful Coloreds.
Yes, we should.
Because back in the day, that's what they call black people, coloreds.
Yeah,
so,
colors, yep.
folks, just be aware that there will be a new book on the shelf soon. It's going to be called The Colorful Coloreds, and it's going to be by Aleta Eubanks and Lolita Ferrin.
Yeah.
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 So, any thoughts that you want to leave us with?
That you can go back in time and find out who, when I start researching, I always kind of go within. I take, and I try to connect on a quote unquote spiritual level with my ancestors.
Oh, absolutely.
And kind of ask them to guide me. So, and then that's how things were opening up. And then even being connected to Avril and Carol, I still ran into roadblocks. So I would go within and ask, like, I need help. I
Right.
really need some guidance.
Right.
So I would tell people, just ask for guidance from your ancestors when you're doing research, and you have to keep an open mind,
Right.
open heart, because if you're blocked off, none of the information will come through.
Yeah.
So I just kept it open, and then, there were times when I was on a roll and the records and the information was just coming through, and I'm like, yeah, I hit the lottery.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it just didn't happen. I'm just like, okay, that means it's not the time.
Right. So since you've done all of this, do you feel differently about yourself and where you come from?
I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm really proud
Yeah.
of, my ancestors and where I come from. It's a rich history. It really is. Where we come from, the soil that we come from.
Right.
So I look forward to going back.
Right. Yeah.
you know, going to Jamaica and just, you know, putting boots on the
Absolutely.
ground.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and go to Roehampton where, you know, William was
where it
born.
all started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's important. We should do that. for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, we're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Aleta, thank you so much for coming on this show. You've like strengthened me too. You know, I'm sitting here feeling like, you know, our ancestors are watching the show as well, and you know, they're pleased.
They are.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really feel that they are, and you know, we just keep on, you know, pushing, and the information will continue to come in the right time.
Absolutely.
In the right time.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.